Hi, this is James from tracymac.co.uk and we're back again with the HTC One X, HTC's new flagship Android device. Hopefully you saw Mac's unboxing video on the site recently. What we're going to do now is just have a look at this a bit more in depth, look at as many features of it we can, and give you my sort of impressions of the device. We've only got this one for a short period of time, so we're kind of doing this is kind of a video review as opposed to the normal written one that we normally do. Matt obviously showed you around the hardware in the unboxing video. I'll just give you a quick reminder. Over on the left hand side we have the USB port. On the right we have our up down volume controls. On the bottom all we have there is the little microphone. On the top we have our 3.5mm jack and our power screen on button. Over on the back we have our 8 megapixel camera lens and the camera flash. The nice HTC logo, and there at the bottom you can see we've got the Beats Audio logo there as well, along with speaker grills. And on the front of the device we have our front facing 720p HD camera. We have our speaker grill, which is actually rather than a normal grill, they're kind of like almost like pinpricks in the screen. There is also actually an LED up there as well, which will notify you when you've got messages, that sort of thing. And at the bottom of the screen we have our 3 capacitive buttons. Unlike the Galaxy Nexus, these aren't on screen, they're actual hardware buttons. So the device itself is, you know, it's made of I suppose a type of plastic. I don't know if it's polycarbonate or something like that, but it's kind of got a matte finish to it, and it feels really, really nice in the hand. It's not slippery at all, which is always a good thing when you've got a phone that costs I don't know, about £500. In terms of dimensions, obviously this is a big phone. The screen is 4.7 inches, but it doesn't feel that huge in the hand. I think partly because of the thickness of the device. It's only 8.9mm, so luckily HTC have managed to slim this down. So although it's a huge phone, it doesn't actually feel that bad, and you know, in the pocket it's not taking up as much room as some of the earlier bigger phones that were a little bit more thicker. So the actual screen on this one is, I mean, this falls into the HD sort of category. It's 720 by 1280 pixels with 312 ppi pixel density. So it's an absolute beauty of a screen. It really is. So, and obviously, as you can see here, we've got the lock screen. We have the ring at the bottom, and we can just pull that to open it, or alternatively, which is new to us, this is part of Sense 4.0. If we want to open one of these particular things, we just pick that up and drag it into the ring, and that will automatically open that particular feature, which is really nice. You'll see here on the lock screen that I've got the weather animation that comes up automatically. There are various options. You don't have to have the weather. You can change it for, you know, if you prefer the calendar to be there, or a few other things, you can do so. So here we have our typical Sense UI user interface, and this is once again made up of 7 home screens. And you can customize these with a selection of widgets. And let's just go back to the start. And there's a big selection as well, as you can see. Huge selection. So we've got calculator ones, some calendar ones. Oh, that's the battery indicator app that I put on there. We've obviously got our clock options that we always get with Sense. We've got FriendStream, Facebook, we've got Gmail, Google Play Books, we've got the Play Store, Photos, Google Plus, Bookmarks, Locations, Mail, some other mail ones, Latitude, there's a Drive one, Messaging, Music, Notes. We've got some people ones, a few options there for you. Photo album, power controls. See, there's lots of options for those. You can have single ones or bigger ones. Twitter, TuneIn Radio, HTC Watch, 3 different weather ones. We've got a YouTube one, and that's a Twitter one. That's the application I use. So actually, sort of customising the home screen is absolutely beautiful. I love this this bookmarks one. I think it's absolutely wonderful, and it certainly makes life easier. We've got the HTC Leap view, as you can see there. That's achieved by sort of pressing the home screen again, or we can pinch to actually do that. Back on the subject of the screen, we've also got Gorilla Glass in here, so this is going to stop it getting scratched. And one of the things that I really wanted to test with this particular device was how easy it is viewing the screen in direct sunlight. And I took this out yesterday to take some photos and shoot some video with it. I'm pleased to say it performed absolutely beautifully. There was no sort of major issues with using it in direct sunlight at all. So more than pleased with that. As you can see, it's very nippy. The processor in this thing, combined with the software that HTC are using, is absolutely fantastic. So let's jump into the menu and show you basically everything that we've got inside here. Obviously, if you're thinking of buying this particular phone, you want to be seeing what you get and what you can do. So in the menu, we've obviously got 3 tabs at the bottom. We've got the All tab, we've got the Frequent tab, and we've also got the Downloads tab. Up at the top, we've got a search, we've got Play Store, and we've got 3 little dots, which is the menu. The first one we've got here is Personalise, and obviously this is where we change our wallpapers and home screen and that sort of thing. It's all fairly straightforward. Obviously we've got our live wallpapers as well as the HTC ones. We've got the phone. There's not really much point looking at the phone. Places is fairly straightforward. There's a bookstore as well, which obviously this takes you into the Play Store, but it will take you into the book section, and the same goes with the movies one as well. There's an Office application on here. As you can see, this will let you create a new Word, Excel, or PowerPoint presentation. All fairly straightforward, and we've got direct links into Dropbox and SkyDrive here, but we'll discuss that a little bit later on. We've got Google Search, we've got settings, and sort of tweaking the settings within an HTC Sense is really easy. We've got sort of on and off tags for the most common things, but just jumping into the accounts and that sort of thing, it's all fairly straightforward. Can you see the nice sort of animation you get there when you drag things down? So as you can see here, total space we've got is I've got free at the moment is 25.24 gigabytes. The device itself doesn't have micro SD support, but we do get a decent amount of storage on board, which is 32 gigabytes, and combined with the cloud storage options that we got on this device is certainly going to be enough for most people, I would imagine. There is a setup on here. This will obviously run as soon as you turn the device on, and this will take you through the main things. So if you're new to a smartphone and this is your first one, don't panic. HTC will guide you through the setup process. Skype isn't preloaded. I've put there on there. There's a couple of games there. Google Talk is preloaded on the device, which is much the same as you would see on any other Android device. We get a task manager, just wait for that to load, and that will allow us to sort of close certain programs, that sort of thing, or we can stop all if we want, or refresh. I didn't actually start on the first page. Silly me. 7 Digital Music Store comes preloaded. I don't actually use this myself, but if you want to sort of download music on the go, this is certainly a nice option to do so. Calendar, as you can see, fairly straightforward. Creating a new appointment is absolutely simple. Just a case of filling in all the information you want, and obviously if you use the sort of Google Sync options, this will obviously sync with your computer or other devices that you're actually using. Let's have a look at the camera interface. So, one of the things that we see here that I don't think we've seen before on other HTC devices is we've got the camera shutter button and the video shutter button on the same screen. The reason they've done that is you can record video, and while you're recording video, if you want to, you can actually take stills as well, which is pretty cool. We've got our flash options there on the top left hand side. We've got our settings. Camera on this is an 8 megapixel camera, and the video will record in full 1080p HD, which is fairly standard stuff now for flagship devices. Let's just show you this in action. So it takes the picture really quickly, auto focuses. Another nice feature of this is if we hold this down, it will actually take lots and lots of pictures in rapid succession. And what we can do, we can either save all those, or we can just select save the best shot, and the phone itself will decide which of those was the best one, and save that. At the bottom of the screen we've got our zoom options. Reacts very quickly, and as I say, if we record video like so, that's now recording, but we can't take a still image by clicking the shutter button if we want to, which is pretty impressive if you ask me. I certainly haven't seen that on any other Android devices. This blue icon at the top of the screen here, this is we've got some different sort of effects and scenes, that sort of thing. Lots of different options there. You can certainly have some fun with it, that's for sure. And down at the bottom right hand side, we obviously get our preview, and this will allow us to jump straight into the gallery and have a look at the photos and video that we've taken. We've also got the options to share those, and we can share those either by email or messaging, Twitter, or our all of our sort of social networks. And we've got some editing options as well, so we can actually crop and change the effects. So, as far as I'm concerned, the camera on this is absolutely fantastic. It's quick to react, the user interface is nice, and best of all, it produces some very good shots. One thing I wasn't hugely impressed with was sort of macro shots, really close-up ones. Whether I'm doing something wrong or not, but I wasn't feeling that. Moving on from the camera, we've got the car option. As you can see, this only works in landscape, it doesn't auto-rotate, so you do really need a car dock if you're using this, but essentially what this will do, it'll give you this information on the screen, and it gives you quick options to jump into the phone, Google Maps, the radio, and music, that sort of thing. We've then got the clock app, which looks pretty nice if you ask me. As you can see, you can add sort of different time zones here, but also you can view them on the globe, which I think is pretty special. We can zoom in a bit there. just so you can see whereabouts in the world your different time zones that you've got set up are. You don't add in any new cities, just a case of typing the icon at the top and typing away, and it'll add the one you want, like so. Down at the bottom we've got some tabs here where we've got our alarms, our stopwatch and our timer, which is fairly standard stuff. Dropbox. Now, if you buy one of these new HTC One series phones, you're going to get 25 gigabytes of Dropbox cloud storage free of charge. So, as I mentioned, you've got your 32 gigabytes of onboard storage here, coupled with the 25 gigabytes of cloud storage. So, if you need more than that, it's probably a miracle. But yeah, so accessing your photos and that sort of thing on here is nice and easy. As you can see. So nice one, HTC, for teaming up with Dropbox. I think that's a fantastic idea. We obviously get our Facebook app on here. This is essentially the layout. This is identical to what you'd see on other Android devices. So this isn't really bringing anything new to the table. But because of the processor in this thing, everything works really quickly. We get the flashlight application, which we get on all the other HTC phones as well. FM radio. Obviously, we need to plug in a wired headset for this. We've got Friend Stream, which has been around for quite a long time now, and obviously this will incorporate your Facebook feed, your Twitter feed, and a couple of other ones as well, I think, although I haven't actually set those up. That was Flickr, that was the other one I was thinking of. I tend not to use this myself, but if you want all your social feeds in one place, it's certainly a nice option. We've got the gallery, which we looked at just now, pretty much from the camera application. The only difference is here we've got different folders, so we can jump in there. You see, there's a screenshot one there because this is running ice cream sandwich. We've got the option to take screenshots by holding down the power button and on the volume control, like so, which is handy. We've got the Gmail application. Much the same as you'd see on any other Android device. So if you're an Android user already, there's no need for me to go into that in any great detail. We get the Google Plus application preloaded on the on the phone. I'm not a huge user of this one, but if you are, it works like a dream. We've got the HTC Hub. Taking a second to download, and this is just an additional place where you can download applications and that sort of thing. Not a huge benefit. I tend to use the Google Play Store more. Right, onto the web browser. Obviously this is one of the most common features on a smartphone, and I'm pleased to say that it performs beautifully on the HTC One X. Nice and quick to load. It's smooth. Obviously it works in both landscape and portrait. Zoom is achieved by double tapping or pinch to zoom, as you would expect. We've got the menu up at the top right hand side. Let's just rotate that back so we can see what we've got in here. Obviously it's nice and quick to add things to bookmarks, and they're laid out absolutely beautifully. Just jump back here. There's some tabs at the bottom, so we've got our most visited and our history down there. So I have to say that web browser on this device is probably one of the best browsing experiences I've actually had on a mobile. You know, it really is a beautiful device. Ignore Isimo, that's a Twitter application that I use. In fact, I'll show you, why not? There you go. And as you can see, it's once again, it's absolutely beautifully smooth. We've got latitude, we've got a game that I've downloaded, we've got locations, mail, maps. And again, this is no different to what you would use on any other Android device. But having this nice big screen, it really makes doing most tasks sort of more, I suppose, more enjoyable really. We've got messaging, we've got the Messenger app, which is obviously associated with the Google Plus app. We get a mirror. We also get a movie editor, so we can, well, obviously edit movies, that sort of thing. It's not something I tend to do on a mobile, but if that's what floats your boat, it's there. Music, and obviously, oh, you can see obviously the notifications at the top there. I keep Jarrett keeps pinging me, which is on Google Talk, but I haven't got time to have a chat with him at the moment. Obviously, one of the big selling points that HTC are using is the Beats audio. Now, unfortunately, this particular device didn't come with the Beats audio headphones. I've used my own headphones, and it does sound gorgeous. There's no doubt about it. So, if you're big into music, then yeah, Beats audio is certainly going to be a benefit, I would imagine. We've got navigation. Just turn the GPS on for that one. And again, this is much the same as we've seen before. If you use the device with an in-car dock, it really, also because of the size of the device, it really takes away the need of having a dedicated sat nav. We've got the news and weather application that we've seen before. We've got notes, we've got Orange Plus, we've got a PDF viewer, we've got our people tab there. I'm not going to start showing you people's phone numbers. That's the screen we've already had a look at. We've got tasks, we've got Tita, we've got transfer, we've got a radio application, obviously Twitter, the voice recorder, we've got HTC Watch, so if you want to either sort of buy or rent movies on the go, you've got the option of doing it here with HTC Watch. Let's just wait for that to load a second. There we go. So as you can see here, you've got the option to either buy the movie or to actually rent it. The prices vary depending on sort of how new the films are. As you can see here, there's a 5p weekend promotion here to rent movies for £5. £5, 5 pence. I'm not sure I'd want to pay £9.99 to buy a movie over here, but you can if you want to. We've got the weather application, which on HTC Sense, the weather always looks, the weather application always looks beautiful. We've got the nice animation. So we've got the weather now. We can also see our hourly view as well, and we've got a 4-day forecast as well. and adding a location. Again, it's just a case of pressing the Add City tab at the top of the screen. Wi-Fi hotspot is obviously supported, as long as your carrier will allow you to do that. That's absolutely fine. And then we've got the YouTube application. Let's find something to have a look at. Got Matt's unboxing video here. And because the screen on this is so gorgeous, watching video is absolutely amazing.
Hi, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk, and if you're a follower of some of our videos either on site
So once again, we've got tabs to actually share if we want to. But it looks good. Oops. It seems to have stopped working for some reason. Then that might be my broadband connection though.
charge design to this style here, and we just have the UK 3-pin plug and a USB socket on top, and then we have a...
So if you like to watch media, you're absolutely going to love the One X. It really is a beauty, and having this nice big screen is certainly a benefit for media. Now the One X has got an 1800 mAh battery in it. Now I've only had the device for a few days, so it's hard to actually say how good or bad the battery is, because this is a new device. The battery, in my opinion, takes a little while to settle down. But from the use that I've been getting from this device, I can certainly get a full day out of it. I think the days of smartphone manufacturers putting small batteries in just to make the phone slimmer are sort of gone now, and yeah, with them putting the 1800 mAh one in here, I think it's certainly a good thing. For some people, one of the downsides to this is that the battery isn't removable, so you won't be able to have a spare battery on charge and swap it out, which is a bit of a shame, but it's certainly not the be all and end all. Jumping back onto the home screens, let's just show you a few things that I've sort of been using. Quick look at gaming, because it does it absolutely beautifully. We'll have a quick look at Temple Run here. And gaming on a big screen is always better. I'm not particularly good at this game, but the speed that the games load at and how they react it really is nice and fast. Let's come out of there. So these are some of the widgets that I've been sort of using in the last few days that I've been using the device. As I said, we can also add shortcuts as well as the widgets. We don't have to just use widgets. We can just stick apps on there if we want to. So hopefully that's given you a bit more of an insight into the HTC One X. This one I think starts going on sale with some of the carriers next week. And in my opinion, I think this is certainly the best Android phone that I've used. With the screen being 4.7 inches, it will put some people off. And obviously HTC have got other options. They've got the One X, One S, and the One V. So I suppose depending on how small you like your screen, you've got choices. But I'd say this is definitely the flagship, and the screen is a little bit too big for me. But I've really enjoyed using this over the past few days, and it really is a beauty of a phone. There's absolutely no denying it. Not only have we got great specs, we've got great hardware as well, and there's not many features on the device where I don't think it performs well. So, you know, combined with that 1.5 gigahertz, you know, quad-core processor, yeah, this thing's flying. It really is. So, if you are thinking of getting a new Android device and you want a nice big one, high-end flagship, here at Tracy and Matt, we can certainly recommend this one. It's a real Bobby Dazzler. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching, and yeah, catch up with you soon. Cheers.